Part 1 was A, B and C, with a finale of cleaning up pollution disasters. Now it's time for other disasters, letter D, of extreme weather, E, and flood, F, eventually going, that's G, for H, hope. Hope through repairs and restoration and ending up with potential for new habitats and new hydro. In a moment you'll hear from our first voices and see their footage of a flash flood that hit Luxillian back in 2010. Before that, let me briefly make you aware of the factors other than weather which are involved. We have 2 water channels under the road at Bridges, which act like a very tight bottleneck. Imagine this flask with a bung in the opening, one moderate size hole, that's the river, and one much smaller, which is the leat. Of course, water will not flow through those channels very freely. Building next to or on top of a floodplain, like a sponge, is never a great idea. However, giving credit where it's due, some of the construction work for Rosevale improved the width and capacity of the bottleneck. But last comes the most critical element of all, neglect. We have 4 major organisations failing to understand the system here, and definitely failing to inspect and maintain. By contrast, the smaller local enterprises and farms have generations of knowledge to draw on, but no one asks them what should happen, and no one provides incentives for them to undertake the work we need. This picture shows when Bob and I were attempting the task of cleaning out the leat, and we made very little impact. Happily though, we believe some official bodies are making plans to undertake this work properly in the not too distant future.
The main reason why it gets flooded, right, is the river in itself slows, right?
Yeah.
It floods all over the field opposite by the railway,
Yeah.
opposite my place. Goes all over there, the river floods, gets down and gets stuck by the railway bridge, slows it down quite a bit. That backs up, goes to the culvert at the top into where the Triskelion River joins.
Comes in, yeah.
It goes back up the Triskelion River, right? Then that floods, then it goes further up, there's a field up there, it tops over that field, goes wishing across that field into that leat, back into that leat, then back down, then it goes under the road, but there's not man enough to take it, and that's when it floods over and down the road. So anything that slows that river down, and if they put this rewilding thing, which is further downstream from us, that's going to slow the river, which basically means we're going to flood again.
Okay, so you don't want that down on that bit, you want it done at the Digo, not on the way back up. Yeah.
Well, am I right in thinking, Chris, after that 2010, didn't Cormac then upgrade the culvert under the road?
They were there, they did clean it out. Dave cleaned out all the river.
Yeah.
Like because it's on his land, he got a dig.
But now he can't.
Why is that?
Oh, he'll be in jail. Do you not know the law? They put a farmer in jail for 2 years for cleaning a leak out, or cleaning a...
Kidding me? Yeah, he cleaned that out once, and that obviously took a lot more water in the Triskelion River.
Yeah.
After he removed all the bushes. When he done that, it slowed, so a lot more water went back upstream and it was holding. My idea would be where it tops over in that field, where it goes into the leat, go all along that leat on that side of the river and just build a bank.
Before we get to disaster 2, I need to explain some more about the layout of land around Cam Bridges. I'm calling on the best resources I can use, which are worked on by myself with colleague David Skelhorn, historian, and Bob Hatton. And we're trying to find the truth here. We're starting in 1840 on this tithe map, and it shows the viaduct is under construction. See those little pillars? It shows the plan for where the tramway will go. It shows the old mill leat or Rilliden leat and how the river used to divide. It's not like that anymore. And how the water went to the north at Gatties, and also how the extraction or abstraction occurred for the Charlestown leat. Okay, so that's pretty clear. Now we're going to have an upside down picture, which is the 1846 agreement. And I'm particularly interested in what's happened at Cambridges. And that says the mill leat's coming in. It says it's going over the north part of the river. And I assume that was a timber launder or aqueduct. And it says in small writing, weir. Now I'm focusing there because the World Heritage Site stops at the two bridges. And it doesn't, I think, well, certainly doesn't include the weir, as far as I've been told. And I'm not sure about the launder. And I wonder why. Then you can see the area we've called settling tanks. He's called it reservoir. It's got the two sluices. It's got an extra bridge and overflow back to the river. And finally, let me move around a little. I turned this so that we could see it kind of the right way round, because there's the viaduct when it's built. There is the Charlestown leat crossing over the Kendall's leat, and that also, I believe, was timber originally, and then today you can see it's got quite a bit of concrete and a modern penstock gate, which isn't too bad in its structure. And there is the division's tank, which we've also called a stilling tank. Quite complex stuff. No wonder people don't understand it. And what I'm asking is, why do we not have guidance on this from the World Heritage Site team? We all need documentation that spells out why the World Heritage Site ends where it does, and what are the implications for looking after the conflicting interests of the heritage, the nature, the ecology, the fish. If we'd had that, we wouldn't be in the mess we are today. We need this to go into the 2025 to 2030 management plan. Very clear English for the landowners and all of us to understand, setting out the priorities for the future.
Before the weir,
Yeah.
before
Oh, it divides.
it's split into two.
Yeah. So this is the higher.
No,
This is,
no, they were both the same height.
Okay.
Because it was a river.
yeah.
So this would have been as low as that over there.
So how did that get higher then? Just because it's been built up in the same way?
We're going to go around and have a look. There's more water flow now than when I took the photograph.
What's going on then? So why did they open that up?
Well, to get all the
To
machinery.
get in the machines in order to make this whole bit around that island.
The launder there was falling down.
Yeah,
So when we had the meeting here,
yeah.
Charlotte said we need to reinforce the land where the leat is because we do not want that leat collapsing.
Right.
So this is obviously what they've done.
And that is in effect a fish pass now.
Well, that's
An
a fish
amateur
box.
sort of fish pass.
Well, yeah, yeah, but whether Whether they just did this because the water had to run around there, I don't know. Or whether it's now deemed to be a fish pass.
Here you can see the height of how the weirs worked to keep everything high on the south side, and unfortunately this is a really crumbling away, not strong penstock. If we can mend it and open it some and clear all this silt, that would be a great help.
Top is already broken.
Yeah, so one day it's going to go.
Yeah.
And what will happen is 10 foot in old money drop, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And all of this will then go cascading back into the river.
Into the river.
And you said you thought that would not be good for fish.
Well, no, it'll totally cover the bottom of it. All the spawning grounds, whatever there is, will all be totally destroyed.
Very bad news.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
the whole
bad news.
river bed will be covered in silt.
So our action point is that we want to clear all of this.
We've got to clear
all of this silt.
The door in the bottom pond, we used to have an overhead wire that went across due course.
I've seen that wire.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that is you could go into the
there's a little house there, isn't there?
yeah,
And
that little on the right hand side.
Yeah.
You go in there, wind the handle,
Yeah.
and that would open it to flood the dock.
yeah.
So they must have had the ponds there for got to have been in the sort of 1800s, I would have thought.
You don't think it's the same?
Well, I don't know if it's the same door, but
No.
also think about the top pond. We used to have to physically go there to open that. And that is the massive one
That could cause
that
the flood.
Cause the problem. Because once that going into the bottom pond, it would just overflow the bottom pond anyway.
And it would just go everywhere.
Everywhere.
And
Or
that
everywhere below
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
not to be
No.
underestimated.
No.
Is it?
I mean, you look at Lynmouth.
I know.
That was water. Boscastle.
Boscastle. It's once it happens,
It
it's
happens, and that's it.
serious
Yeah.
stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So really, when I submit this film, I need to include that
Yeah.
because that's a huge, huge risk that
Yeah.
nobody's thinking about.
Well, yeah. It crosses my mind on occasion.